Now we have an opportunity for people to ask questions, and I will look at some of the questions in the chat. One of the ones that I know is that people asked at last week when we had our Meet the Volunteers was how do you know the right technology for me? So I want to start that one off because that one's a big one because there are so many different technologies, and people just, I would love for people to, any of the installers, any or multiple installers can answer that question.
Well, I think it's different for every family and every consumer. So all of these different technologies have their place, and they can all help someone lower their greenhouse gas emissions, lower their heating or their cooling bills, or drive smarter in the case of an electric car. But that's why you want to have a comprehensive approach and have people come out to the house that can take a look at the house and help point you in the right direction. Because really they all, just about all of them could apply depending on the particular family.
Anybody, would any of the other, let's see, would anybody else like to share any thoughts about that?
Yeah, Carolyn, I will. When it comes to solar PV, remotely we can do a pretty quick assessment of whether the property is a good candidate for solar, and that's based on the azimuth, the direction of the roof to the sun, the shading, whether there's enough roof space, whether it's the type of roof we can mount on. But it can be a pretty quick evaluation and done remotely. So.
Great. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts about it?
And I think just, continuing on with that theme, if you have a roof that might not be as great for solar, it might work very well for the heat pumps, right? For the mini splits. If you have a home potentially where you're really looking to knock down a lot of the heating costs, the geo, potentially could fit. There's so many, as I said, so many different ways to look at this, and each home will be quite different, and everybody's goals will be quite different. So I think having folks out and getting on the phone with each of us too remotely is very helpful for people.
Great. All right, let's see. So one of the questions that was asked during the process or during the presentations was, are any of these programs in conjunction with any of the programs offered by Mass Save? And so the answers are that yes, there's zero financing through Mass Save program. The air source heat pumps, geothermal, and solar hot water are all Mass Save approved programs. Are there any, so that, I mean, if anyone wants to expound on that, you're welcome to add to those comments, because that was, it was more limited to respond in the chat. So if you'd like to expand on that, you're welcome to do that.
Just real quick, this is Corey with A Solar. The heat loan specifically excludes solar, so the financing side of the solar would be through the Mass Solar loan, yes, but it's it's not included in the 0% that was just mentioned. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Great, thank you. So then a question from Phil. Are there any incentives that are unique to Solarize Mendon-Upton, or are the installers just presenting what is available for consumers in Massachusetts? So I don't know about incentives, but what you need to understand, and the installers can expand on this, but through the Solarize Mass Power, through the Solarize Plus program, the whole point is whole communities that have available to them installers from different technologies, and the volunteers, the people in the community, are offering their time and effort and in marketing and people we know and doing outreach and things like that. So the idea is that it's bulk pricing, and that is not necessarily available through other situations. Anyone else would like to explain anything more?
Carolyn, as you were saying, bulk pricing, when we bid on these solarized programs, in anticipation of having many installs in the community, we really get aggressive on the pricing so that the program will be successful for the residents of the town. And I'd say, Eric, and you can guess at it, you're probably saving 20% off our standard pricing through the solarized program.
Yeah, I would think it's some of the best pricing, in the solar market that there is. It's and this is Eric with A Solar again. So it's rough. I think these bids, Bob, we were closer to the 25 to 30% discount range, and we do that because of the bulk pricing in the group community outreach program that's in place. So it's really, the incentives are statewide or nationwide, as was mentioned, but the pricing is what's key.
And I could expand on that. For our bidding, for our pricing for Solarize, we have reduced labor rates. We have special pricing from the manufacturer. We have special pricing from the driller that we subcontract to on most projects. And it does result in a substantial savings compared to a one-off proposal.
Phil, that was a good question to ask. What's the point? Why are we doing this as two whole towns? And so I hope that gives you some sense of the framework. I think the Mass CEC Solarize Mass Plus program is a brilliant framework. The state organizes the market by the towns, each of the towns, whatever communities want to apply for the program, they need to show their marketing and their knowledge of the town and how they're going to work with the installers to have it be a successful program. The installers are offering bulk pricing. It creates a market that would not be there if it were not organized by the state to be able to make this available for towns and residents and small businesses in each of the towns who are accepted into the program. Mendon and Upton are the only, as I said earlier, we are the only two towns in the whole state who are offering all the technologies that are available through the Mass Clean Energy Center. I'm sorry, there are too many Mass things. through the Solarize Mass program. So thank you. So the next question from Phil, you're thinking carefully. Continue off of that. How long do you anticipate the program existing? There are too many acronyms. I agree. There are too many. It takes a while to absorb this. I will encourage you to go and spend some time, poke around our website. It's a very useful format. So you can, there are videos there, there are diagrams there. You are right. There are tons of acronyms, so it's okay. We're here to help you walk your way through that. But to answer your question about how long is the program going to last, we're not entirely sure. We're in the period of COVID, and we don't really quite know how this is all going to play out. I will say this, that if people are going to participate in the program, as was pointed out earlier in several of the presentations, that the federal tax credit it ends from 26%, ends after December 31st, and it goes down to 22% after that. And after that, unless Congress does something, it goes down to 0. So it is really useful to be able to think, if you're really interested in this, start poking around at, getting quotes from the different vendors to understand, from the different installers to understand what options you have, what would work best for you. And it may take a while, you may talk to 2 or 3 different installers to understand what your energy needs are. So take the time, but do keep moving forward if you can, if you want to get the 26% for the federal tax credit, because that ends for 26% as of January 1st, and it goes down to 22. Yes, you can. So Ace, would you like to answer some more questions, make some more points about that?
Oh, no, no problem. I was just mentioning someone had joined late and they were wondering who the battery installer was. So.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, got it. Thank you. So yes, you can roll your tax credit into years in the future. We did that with our solar system. So it is possible. Anybody else have any comments, any questions that you would like to ask? You're welcome to do that. So Phil, I hope we answered your questions. Go to the website. You'll have lots of information to pour over. And when you feel comfortable, you can just simply when you go to the website, you can click on the link to the town, to the different installers and say, I want to check this out. Contact me. So it's, it's easy as that. So thank you. If there are no other questions, I'm going to just make sure everybody is here. Is everybody all on one page? Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anybody on a second Zoom sheet, page, whatever. We're doing Hollywood Squares. So, so thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Thank you for asking good questions. Thank you, installers, for being here. We look forward to working with both the Mendon and Upton residents and businesses and the installers. We're on a roll. Thank you so much for coming. Take care. Bye-bye.